weird angle, but hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is about to be the start of the Tarot Readathon, and I am going to, oh shit, I don't have my glasses. Let me grab that. I'm about to be on my way to go and meet Allie. I will put her channel name before or below. She's doing something, and I told her that I'll pull up on her ass, so I'm going to go pull up on her ass. What I do know is that it's hotter than the devil's ass crack. I'm talking about ass crack. It's hotter than the devil's ass crack. You hear me? My titties long. This day gonna be long. And that just is what it is. Alright? Alright, I've made it here. So freaking beautiful. Like, this is unreal. Look at that. That is gorgeous. get me? Okay, so this is I got an XX. Because usually it's given boots and mid-level. No issues, because most of us have that. So this is what I really have to make sure we're good. Hold on. I found it at this this half price books. I didn't think I would love them as much as I do, but yeah, this series is one of my favorite series, if anyone was wondering. But I don't have the fourth book, is what I was trying to say, and I got so goddamn tangential. This is The Serpent's Curse. This is book 3, and I don't have book 4. And I'm thinking as I'm reading this, because I'm also listening to it on Libro FM, and I'm unsure if I know if there could be, like, what would happen in book 4. So I'm thinking some shit is about to go down. Like, I think there would have to be some real twist happening to 2 different characters. And there's like a development of a character who was in the second book. Hey, Aaron. Sorry. In the second book, there was the development of a character, but she just really comes from a place of like white privilege. She does have some disadvantages because she was unfortunately born as a woman. And society treats women different ways, right? Either in this time period or in our current one. So, but her arrogance really put another character who's kind of like a love interest in a way. Her arrogance forgets, like, how do I describe it? Her arrogance makes her a terrible partner because she doesn't understand how her actions can really be a life or death situation when it comes to the person that she loves. Like, she's reckless about getting information, and she's reckless about the white privilege that she holds, and the financial support she has with her family. So I think she's reckless in that way. And then we get her again in The Serpent's Curse. And I'm like, if there is a book 4, I'm wondering if she's going to become more of a main character at some point. And that is, I hope that's not the route that we take, Lisa Maxwell, because that bitch is annoying. Like, so it's like, what do you do? Maybe I'll like her, maybe I won't, but oh my God. You already know on one side of my edges, I am follically declining, you know, and not a way that I'm very proud of. And I feel like if she becomes a main character, there will be no follicle to see on this here forehead. So, you know, anyway, that's just how I feel about that. So I'll catch you guys in the next clip. am at a conference. This is day 2. I have one more day and a half of this conference, and I just woke up. I am going to be late. I am going to be late. So I'm trying to get ready. I don't know how to zoom in, so I'll zoom in on the editing. Understand? Okay, so I wanted to say that I haven't been like really active in the Discord when I'm like working. It's like hard for me to pay attention, and I'm also trying to write a paper and like finish up some work for a supervision class that I finished for my license. So I worked on it some more last night. I want to work on it some more tonight, and hopefully just have to do like some finished touches tomorrow and turn it in tomorrow. Yeah. Ooh, jump scare. Yikes. Okay. I'm gonna just spray. There's this, if anybody has locks and you're like, what kind of light oil can I use? I love this company. Yeah, I really love this company. I don't put oil on my hair too much because it really activates my scalp. A lot of black people need oil on their scalp, which I'm like, hell yeah, but I have a skin condition and it kind of makes it a bit rough. And then my loctician sells an anti-itch mist, so I just spray that on, or my hair is just gonna be matted to itself. And a lot of people call this like the ugly stages of locks because you have to like make sure it's not sticking out. And I'm like, damn, my hair is getting longer. Check me out. Boop. So I usually just do this. I don't like do too much. Let me put this up. I don't do too much to it, but that's usually what I do to it, and just let it do its own thing. You know what I mean? Let me wash my hands. So, what I want to talk about is a book I am reading, and I thought that I would be on another. I'm still on my books for my first 3 spread. I'm kind of annoyed because I haven't been able to find an audiobook for one of the books that I'm reading. I've already showed you guys my my like TBR, so I think I'm gonna find another book that's an audiobook that's available that still has like the same themes. And when I say same themes, I need to find another book that talks about how that talks about Israel, and that's what I need to find, and I hope to get to that soon. And I'm almost done with the biggest book, which is 700 plus pages, which is The Serpent's Curse by Lisa Maxwell. And I'm almost literally have an hour left of listening to the audiobook left in that book. And this is what I was going to say. I have truly enjoyed this book. I really can't wait to read, yikes, I really can't wait to read the next book in the series, even though every book is long as fuck. In The Serpent's Curse, not to spoil it because it is book 3 in a series, right? I don't want y'all to be like, damn, Brie, let me get to it. So I have been, following this story about a group of people who's either trying to get rid of magic, demonize people who use magic, or they are trying to prevent that from happening and save magic. And what's interesting is that the main character, her name is Esther, keeps trying to manipulate time and go back and change things so that things like that don't happen. But unfortunately, things keep happening, you know. And she is with this guy. They called him the last magician in book 1. And his name, I think, is, I forget his first name, but I know his last name is Hart. And he has had a life of just like being on his own, not being able to really like trust other people. And when he first met her, he had a feeling about her, and I'll just leave it at that. And in this book, they are reunited because something happened, and now they're reunited on trying to like work together on a common goal. But they both have different opinions, I would say, of how they want that goal to be delivered. And in this story, they're also having like some complicated emotions that they're trying to explore within themselves. And to me, they're just like making irritating mistakes. Like I feel like there's some things that's like right in your face, and I'm just like, ugh. And to be honest, when some conflicts did occur, I was like, are you serious? Why are we still having shit like this in book 3? Like, this is where I think some things should have been resolved. And right where I started to say those things started to be resolved in a way that made more sense. So I was like, okay, well, let me shut the hell up. Clearly, I'm talking shit. Clearly. So as I continued to read the book, I was like, okay, well, we're starting to get to a point where I'm starting to understand more about these two characters, Hart and Esta. And I don't know, it made me feel more connected to the character. I think Lisa Maxwell does a really good job on making sure that you feel like you continue to feel connected by the characters that she writes. So I thought that was done really well. And then what I also loved about this book is I was really unsure if something that happened early on in the book was ever going to be resolved. And it really made me sad about it, because I was like, dang, that's crazy for two individuals to find each other and then something happened that threatens that. Will we be able to talk more about that? Will we get more scenes about that? And we actually do, but now we're at a point where I'm nervous, because Lisa Maxwell will kill a character. I'm talking about kill him dead. So I'm wondering if I'm about to get my heart broken, because there was a character who died in this story, and I'm still not okay about it. And honestly, I need them to go back in time again, because time is constantly being manipulated in this story. And I will say that it's not being manipulated in a way where you feel like it was either done unjustly. You feel like it was done with care. To me, that's what it feels like. I don't feel like, damn, she's just throwing shit together or throwing people together. I don't feel that way at all. I think it's been done really well so far. I wish I had another brush, because I keep using the same brush for the same thing over and over again. And I don't like Nelly no more. Why am I singing that motherfucker song? There is a character who I really want to see come back with a time manipulation, even though that we saw that he died. But so far in all 3 books, I've never really seen her do that. Like bring a character back after they're done gone. I don't know. And then I think they would have to move more forward in the future than they are right now. I think they're in 1904 or 1902. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm interested to see how this is resolved. They are now at a point where their opponent or their adversary is very powerful, and they're trying to figure out a way. When I say they, a couple characters are working together right now, which has happened several times in the book, which I've appreciated. They're trying to figure out what to do next. So I hope that something happens to this adversary of theirs, but at this time he is very formidable, and I just don't know what can happen. We shall see. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting dressed, and I'll come back on camera. So I don't forget, this is the fit. I have a black shirt on. Sorry, I gotta get low. These earrings. And this is my ribbon skirt. Shout out to my friend Kelsey. If anybody wants a ribbon skirt made, I gave her the material and the ribbon, and she did a fantastic job. And, hold up. Oh, I got it on a little wrong. Okay. And it's pocket. So this is the outfit. I'll see you guys in the next clip. Be good to yourself. Bye. Incoming insecurity. Insecurity. I just filmed the clip that you saw. It was giving Hunchback of that Notre Dame. Gotta work on this posture. It's like sliding again. Like I had it pretty good at one point. It's much better than it used to be. I think it becomes a lot for me, like as a teen, being so insecure, being so tall, and like in my early 20s, so I would like hunch over to make myself smaller. But Brie, you are that fucking girl. Period. I'm in my bonnet, and one of my, matching sleepwear. I love a matching sleepwear. Shout out to Winnie for letting me use her water bottle because mine is lost. Motherfucker ain't even open. Embarrassing me if okay. Anyway, let's end this vlog. I'm in Jess Owens' spreads for Patreon. We have 7 minutes left. We pray we make it. So I only read this book for the Tarot Readathon. I know. I'm ashamed, Pentacles. And you know why I'm really ashamed? Because July 1st and 2nd, I finished 3 books. I mean, start and finished. June had me in a shackle that I couldn't quite get out of. But to be fair, this one is close to 800 pages. So really, if we think about 300 pages of an average novel, I gave you 3.6. I almost gave you 2.5 books. If we use our cabeza, I think we can roll with that type of understanding, if you will. I think my lips was giving you Chap City. Ooh. Not today. Let me double check, because I be crusty on these vlogs sometimes, and I don't be knowing. Yep, look at that. Look at that, almost took me out. Okay, anyway. So, going back to this one. I can't believe I read this one. I can't believe I finished it. I've been trying. I kept thinking, like, when I started this series, it's too long. And not too long, like I couldn't read it. It's too long. It's going to take me years to start it. And I started, let me just go and look and see when I started The Serpent's Curse. I mean, the Last Magician. So I started The Last Magician June 2025. And then I started The Last Magician 2, which is The Devil's Thief, September 2025. And then I just finished The Serpent's Curse, July 30th, 2025. I've given every book 5 stars. I've given every one of them. a young Cinco, if you will. And let me tell you, the Serpent's Curse was my favorite of it all. It gave us a little bit more romance. I'm saying a little bit, like just enough to satisfy me, but the stakes were high as fuck. A character died in a like very heartbreaking way. I'm still not over that. So in the Serpent's Curse, I found myself thinking like, what's gonna happen to the main two characters, Esther and Hart? And also, would we get a character who I thought was gonna die? Are we gonna see this character again? I was about to gender the character, but I was like, damn, that's gonna spoil it. I want to know if we're gonna see this character again. In order to save someone's life, Esther had to make a promise that she never thought she would make to a very powerful entity. And if she doesn't fulfill that promise, the entity has the right to move on in a very malicious and end of world manner. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how she's going to do that when all the items have not been collected. She only know where some of the items are. And I think she only has some of the items in her possession. So it's like, what the fuck are you going to do, my girl? And evil is not as dead as you think it are. It's like, you ever like hear those sayings of like, you cut one serpent's neck, 3 other grow? That's what's happening here. And I think that's befitting since, the book is called The Serpent's Curse. But the thing that I found so interesting about this book is that bigotry, greed, and power, especially when it's attached to a person who's been socialized as a man, a person who upholds patriarchy, they're going to find a way in every lifetime to push their agenda and have followers. That's why men need to hold each other accountable more. But in this book, you have the main character, Esther, going in different timelines, trying to get away from these motherfuckers who are trying to end the world. Trying to end the world. Do you hear me? They're trying to take the shit out. And every time she goes back in time or forward in time, the motherfuckers, the followers are still there. Y'all are that evil that you pass on the plot even after your death? Hello, welcome back.
Hey, Bree.
Hey y'all, sorry I was in my bonnet. I was doing a
so cute. Where'd you get it? I need a new bonnet.
Annie's.
shit. I don't even know.
I know.
I don't even know. But I'm doing a clip, so I forgot we had 8 minutes. So I'm gonna finish this clip. Y'all heard what happened. It bees like that. Some say it bees like that in the trap. There's no Trappiana over here though. There's no Trappiana over here. But anyway, I'm really intrigued to see what happens in the shattered. What is it called? I had to go and get all the books. I'm really excited to see what happens in the Shattered City. I don't even know what can happen. I have some thoughts. I feel like when I talked about a character who is white and how, I don't like her. I think she's going to get more of a prominent role here. There's a character who was really good with knives. I think we're going to get more of her. I think her name is Viola. And I also think that there is a way or an item that might be found that can break a curse that's happening in this book. I'm not sure because every time you think that you got really close to breaking the serpent's curse, or you got really close to breaking the curse that one of the characters have, or in like I think he willfully took it on. Something else happened, or there's just this entity that is so powerful that the two main characters, Hart and Esta, I think they're just, how do I say it? I think they're so wrapped up in their mind on being Captain Save-A-Ho for each other that they're not trying to put a little bit more logic into how they can free themselves of the dilemmas that they keep putting themselves in. And I won't even say like they always put themselves in this dilemma. It's dilemmas that there is no way for them to escape it. It's just like things that just keeps happening to them. I know because of how this book was written that this book right here won't be like rushed through. I won't feel that it's being rushed through because a lot was resolved in The Serpent's Curse. So I'm excited to see what happens in this book. I hope I'm not crushed by the ending. I just really hope I'm not crushed by the ending. This is also 752 pages. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. But I still think that the Tarot Readathon was very successful, even though I only read one book. But for me, I feel like if I read one book, I did it. I did it. And I must have been really stressed out in June too, because this is the only book I read. It's been literally since 2017 since I've only finished one book in a month. The hell? One book, you guys. That's the wrap up, truly. Like, it's one book, wrap up. That's it. What I will say about this book, because it is a 5-star, is that the character development continues to be strong as fuck. The plot continues to be strong as fuck. There is no confusion. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot happens in this series, but you are not confused. And shout out to Lisa Maxwell for doing that. But I'll say all of that and let you guys go by your business. Live your life. And I will see you in the next vlog. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on another one. Bye.